Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Young here, and today I'm back with another Fortnite video. And in today's video, I'm gonna give you guys a full guide on how to live longer in Fortnite. And living longer in Fortnite is an important part of being able to win a lot of games. And this could be anything from the mid game to the early game, or just having low HP and just finding a way to clutch it. So I'm gonna give you guys a full guide on exactly what to do when you're low HP, or you just need to get out of a sticky situation and you need to learn how to survive longer. So I'm gonna give you guys a ton of tips and tricks. I hope you guys out with exactly that. And before we get into the video, I have a V-Buck giveaway. If you guys want a chance to win some free V-Bucks, all you need to do is to drop a like on this video, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on my notifications, and as well leave a comment down below of your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. And as well, make sure you guys have me added and supported as a creator. All you need to do this is go over to the item shop, hit X, go to support a creator, and then type in my code, and my code is Young Humor. And once you type that in, all you have to do is accept it, and you will have me added and supported as a creator. So make sure you guys do that. It really does help me out. And alright guys, let's get right to the video. Alright, so for the background gameplay, I have a 22 kill game that I had playing duos. And I was really trying to post this 28 kill gameplay that I had just a few games afterwards, but for whatever reason the file wouldn't save right, or whatever. I don't even know exactly what happened. So unfortunately I can't post that gameplay, I have to post this one. But either way, it still is a little bit of a nice 22 kill gameplay, and as well I'll be uploading a 30 kill game on my channel. I also have one of those today as well. So I dropped my first 30 bomb, I'm going to be posting that on my channel very shortly. So I'm going to give you guys a full guide on exactly what to do, and it could be if you're low HP, or just giving you guys some tips on how to stay alive longer in Fortnite. Because I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering how I'm able to stay alive so much in my games, because as you guys can see, I'm constantly hitting hot drops, I'm going tilted towers, I'm rushing every single player that I find. So you can see that I play really aggressive. I'm fighting every single player that I can see, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that I'm just kind of aimlessly running towards them. I have a pretty good strategy in which when I go into gunfights, I know exactly what I want to do and exactly how to play out of that situation in which so I can win that gunfight. And as well just stay alive a lot longer so I can drop a lot more high kill games, and as well just get a lot more wins because I can stay alive a lot longer than the rest of the players in the lobby. So when it actually comes to staying alive longer in your games, there's a few kind of things that you want to do, but there is really one important thing that you want to do above anything else. So that one thing that I wanted to talk about first, that I think is probably one of the most important things that you can do if you want to stay alive longer in Fortnite, is in your games, you know, there's gonna be chances where you're gonna have really good opportunities, you're gonna hit a lot of shots, but there's also gonna be moments where you're pretty screwed over, like maybe that you get hit for like a 130 damage pump, you have no HP, you have no mats, and you're gonna have to be able to clutch out that fight. So one thing that I can do, and one thing that I've been able to do really well, that has allowed me to drop so many kills in this game, and as well just stay alive a lot longer in pretty much the majority of games that I play, is just when I get in those situations where I get really screwed over, I'm low HP, low mats, I know exactly how to get out of it. So for example, say I'm on the top of Umbrella, or maybe I'm in the middle of Trump and tilted towers, and maybe I get really shot up, you know, I'm running through the middle of the street, I'm getting really shot up from multiple angles, and I'm on low HP, and at the same time maybe I have a guy knocked, but whatever the case may be, it really doesn't matter. So in that case, I'm really screwed over, I don't have a lot of HP. So one thing that I'm going to do every single time without thinking about it, is I'm not even going to just build, because I'm playing a lot of solo squads, solo duos, so I'm not going to just try to build and then try to go for a pump shot, especially if I have like 20 HP and there's like 2 or 3 other guys shooting at me. That's not going to be the best option. If there's one, then you could probably get away with it, but if there's 2 or 3 other players shooting at you and you have some heals that you want to get off, I guarantee you if you try to box up, you're just going to get spammed left and right by all the players, and you're not going to be able to get any of the heals off. So what I would do instead is I would immediately, first of all, I would just overbuild, I would spam build pretty much everywhere so they would have a really hard time shooting at me. But one thing that I would do is I would have really good positioning, and instead of just trying to box in like I said earlier and then just get spammed at, what I would do instead is I would go into the building, and in from the building, it's a lot harder for the other players to find me, and it's a lot harder for them to get shots on me, just because in the building, it's a lot harder to blow up. You can't just spam all the walls in there and then find them pretty easily. So I can run through the builds, I can place a bunch of floors, I can place a bunch of ramps, and just buy myself a lot more time to get off all my heals, and which is going to put me in a really good spot, because if I can get off my HP, it's going to put me at a huge advantage, because I'm going to be able to actually challenge that fight. And here in this gameplay, one thing that I did is that guy hit me for so much on that shot. And so I was getting shot from those two different angles. So I was able to get knocked on one of the players. And what I immediately did, instead of sitting in that same box as I was getting spammed from two different angles, I decided to move over a box. And that even meant challenging the guy straight up. But I had to move boxes because if I didn't move between boxes, then I would just got spammed up from left and right. They would have definitely phased through my walls. And they would have pretty much for sure just hit me with a pretty big pump shot. And I probably would have ended up dying. So what I did instead is I moved to the other box, and I didn't even have to challenge him. I could have rotated to the left side, but being in a really good position or changing your positioning is going to be a huge factor in actually staying alive longer. And that's just one thing that you have to master and get really, really good at if you want to be able to stay alive a lot longer in your games, if you're going against really sweaty players especially. Because even if you're going against really sweaty players, if you can just find a good way to get out of that situation, maybe for instance you're in tilted again and the exact same thing happens, so you go in the trump, and then from trump you can place maybe a few traps, place a few walls, and you're going to be able to get a little bit of HP off because you bought yourself a little bit of time. And then from there, it's going to be a lot easier to kill players even if they're sweaty. And the reason being, if you run into a building like that, their only option really is if they have no idea where you are, if they have to go through a bunch of obstacles. A lot of the times they're not going to be grouped together, and that's going to give you the best chance of staying alive longer and as well and winning that gunfight. So if you want to win those gunfights where you're going against those really sweaty players, you're going to have to challenge them 1v1. You can't challenge 2 or 3 of them at the exact same time. Because even if you are to get a pretty good shot on a player or do a lot of damage, you're still going to have 3 people shooting at you at the same time, which means one of them is bound to hit an RNG headshot. Even if they don't even aim for your head, one of them is just bound to hit a headshot, the other guy is bound to hit a body shot. So even if you do get that good tag on the other player, you're going to lose a lot of HP, and it's just overall not the best challenge. But if you're fighting them 1v1, it's going to give you the best chance for them to do the least amount of damage, because they're going to be challenging as solos instead of a 3-man team. And also another really, really good tip for staying alive longer and just preventing other people to just get a lot of shots on you is something that I've seen a lot of people just not take advantage of. And say you're in a build fight, say you're in a gunfight, and for whatever reason, maybe you have to relocate. And when you're going to that next spot, you always want to check, see exactly what walls you have edited and which walls are theirs, which walls are yours. Because in a situation like this, and that's exactly what I'm doing here, I'm checking and seeing which walls are mine. Because I had a little bit of metal built to my left, but at the same time on my left, if you looked above me, it was a brick structure that wasn't mine. So I decided to rotate over just a little bit more, so I had control of all the walls. So in case I needed to get out, maybe in case I wanted to make an edit play on one of the walls, I was able to do so. So just checking your walls and seeing exactly which ones you have edited and which ones you can't edit, which ones are the other players. And then of course replacing them with your walls, that's going to give you a huge advantage. I mean, I've seen a lot of people, not mistake this tip, or I've seen a lot of people die in situations where, they're doing pretty good, they're in a build fight, and they build around them, and they didn't notice that the walls to their left, or maybe their wall behind them wasn't actually their wall, and they end up losing that gunfight and taking a lot of damage, just because they had no idea it was their wall, and they didn't do anything about it. So just double checking, making sure every single wall of yours is, able to edit. It's going to really help you guys stay alive a lot longer, and just not get screwed over in gunfights for no reason. Alright, so going into the last gunfight you guys are about to see, it's going to be a 1v3. And so you're going to notice this other team is sitting back a little bit harder with sniper rifles. And I probably made a pretty bad decision. I was just trying to get shots off. I didn't really notice they had snipers right away. But as soon as I noticed that they were just trying to snipe, the last thing I want to do is just try to get some AR tags. Because even if I was able to get a little bit of damage off of them, it was a pretty risky shot, because more than likely they're going to, one of them's going to hit a sniper rifle shot on me, which would have been really, really bad. So I decided to peek over there because the other player wasn't even looking up at me. He was looking down. He was looking the complete other direction for whatever reason. So I'm just trying to get a few tags on this player, and I'm keeping in mind I don't want to get pinched from multiple different angles. So I was going to make a quick play on one of them, or at least try to get a knock on a player before I try to make any other decision. And I didn't realize that the other player was also on the left side as well. And since the other team was coming from 2 different angles, I had to be really, really careful on the shots I took and exactly win the challenge. Because even if I poked over a little bit to the left to take a shots on the guys on the right, I was going to get lasered from both sides at the same time. So I made one of these players weak, and I was really focused on trying to get this player specifically just because I had him on low HP. And since he was low HP, I know his other teammates probably was having 150 to 200, so it would have been a lot easier kill to go for this player. And I saw a pretty good opportunity, and that's exactly what I did. I went for it, and I was able to get the kill on that player right there. So now I'm playing a little bit slower. I'm just seeing what kind of shots I can get on this player. I'm being really careful not to get one pumped or get, any sort of crazy amount of damage on me. So I was able to get one shot on him right there, and since I hit him for 110, I knew immediately this guy was going to run away and not challenge. So I came out really quickly and went for the second shot, and I was able to finish off that player right there. So now a 1v1, and this is going to be a pretty easy gunfight to win because a 1v1 is a lot easier than 1v3 from different angles. And this player had quite a bit of damage on him. I'm getting a few tags at SMG, and I'm going to be able to finish him off there for 22 kills. And with that being said, that's a wrap up for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys liked it. And if you could, drop a like on this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on my notifications to be notified for every single new video. And alright guys, I'll see you next video.